In this video, I want to discuss more than 5 keys to victory for the Buffalo Bills over Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I want to break down some articles and some comments from players going into this matchup, like AJ Epenesa, who simplified things tremendously. This really leads me to the first point of this matchup. It is AJ Epenesa's comments, and he says that this is definitely going to be a battle in the trenches. They have a lot of big guys up front. We have a lot of big guys up front. It's going to come down to who controls the line of scrimmage. We're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. You just got to dominate the front and try to make some plays. So this comment here from AJ Epenesa really reveals so much about this matchup. And it really does start with the trenches. Baltimore Ravens are a physical run-first team. Greg Cosell this week specifically stating that they hardly even use 3 wide receivers on the football field at times. It's 2 tight ends. It's extra offensive linemen. They are going to try to establish the run with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson against the Buffalo Bills, who are depleted defensively here. And I think they're going to try to force the Buffalo Bills to get into our base defense with 3 linebackers out there, thus bringing up Buffalo Joe for this matchup. And that just digs into the depth of this Buffalo Bills young team. And I know there's other linebackers here that could step up and fill in, but I think Buffalo Joe makes the most sense coming here for Bills Mafia. But the other thing that he said, it goes beyond just the trenches. It goes beyond this defensive line going against the Baltimore Ravens offensive line, and it goes beyond their defensive line going against our offensive line. It is understanding really what this is going to do for the Buffalo Bills offense and running the football, because he says running the football. They're going to run it. We're going to run it. Epenesa went on to say that they're a team that definitely prides themselves on physicality. Downhill running is definitely what they specialize in. This article specifically states that the Ravens are focusing on a crucial area for improvement on their team. And it says that the strong secondary has shown some holes so far for the Baltimore Ravens this upcoming year. And you listen to Greg Cosell, Dan Orlovsky, other people talking about this matchup, and they're saying there's a lot of miscommunication going on, which is not typical for the Baltimore Ravens. What this is going to do, it's going to open up things for the Buffalo Bills for explosive chunk plays. And I'm anticipating, especially when they say the middle of the field, who's catching the ball primarily in the middle of the field? That's a slot wide receiver. That's the tight ends. So I think Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, Khalil Shakir are going to be suited for and primed for a big day come Sunday night here today. So hyped up about it, but they're giving up a lot of yards through the air. You could see Patrick Mahomes, obviously a great quarterback, but 14 of 17 passes for 201 yards over the middle in week 1. Gardner Minshew completed 15 of 17 for 119 yards and a touchdown and just 1 interception in week 2 over the middle. And Dak Prescott completed 17 of 26 for 263 yards and a touchdown. So there's no way around it. The Ravens definitely have to tighten up the middle of the field to reach their goals. And just looking at the Ravens defensive depth chart here, you have Marlon Humphrey that can also play the nickel. He could also play the perimeter. I think in this matchup, we're going to see him likely on the outside versus Curtis Samuel, MVS, Keon Coleman. Maybe they decide to put Marlon Humphrey on Khalil Shakir in the slot. That would dramatically change things in this game and really try to open things up on the perimeter. So I think we've seen Khalil Shakir be very successful, but if the Bills could spread them out a little bit, maybe use that pre-motion. If they're in zone, get Khalil Shakir matched up on a Trenton Simpson, get him in a more favorable matchup. I think Khalil Shakir could still do some big-time things. Now, Trenton Simpson, I just want to take a look at, because I was interested in him the year we selected Dorian Williams, but he's 6'2", 235 pounds, clearly more of a pass coverage linebacker, not necessarily the greatest against the run. And that's where AJ Epenesa's comments come in, because the Bills could really dominate the Ravens and establish running the football. Now, they definitely have some big boys up front, but I think the Bills having this solidified offensive line, our offensive line got a lot bigger this offseason and a lot more continuity now having all the players that we had back from last year. Now, offensively for the Ravens, clearly it starts with Lamar Jackson and also Derrick Henry. Even Brandon Beane openly admitting that the Derrick Henry signing for the Ravens was a very smart, wise decision because of the running element of Lamar Jackson. And I reflect back to listening to Bill Belichick's interviews as a head coach for the Patriots and how he would talk about going against our running quarterbacks like Tyrod Taylor, even Josh Allen. And he would say it really takes another defender out of the picture for the offense, and it makes things a lot easier for offenses. So understanding that and knowing that they have a dual threat here with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, we really need to maybe focus in on one of them. And I think that really starts with Derrick Henry, making sure that we do not allow Derrick Henry any rushing yards in this game. And I said in my previous video, Derrick Henry, top end speed, he's fast enough to break one long. Like, he's known to be a bigger back, his stiff arm, he could definitely shoulder guys and knock you right to the ground. But top end speed, Derrick Henry can run it right to the house. He's very deceiving speed wise. So my point here is that we need to get into the backfield. We need to trip him up. We need to slow his acceleration because he doesn't have the fastest burst. But once he gets up to that top end speed, he's rumbling down the field. So I think the thought here is to make sure that we're penetrating, that we're not allowing Derrick Henry any momentum moving forward. And I know they have Zay Flowers, a speed demon on the outside. I think the Bills definitely need to eye this up, play back a little bit. I believe in our open field tackling. I believe in Rasul Douglas, Cam Lewis. I believe in Damar Hamlin and the other players that we have here, like Christian Benford, to make open field tackles. Our corners are willing to tackle. So I say play off, let them make their run after catch versus hitting a home run downfield. They really do have probably one of the best tight ends in the NFL with Mark Andrews, and knowing that we have Balin Spector, Dorian Williams, potentially Nick Morrow, or Buffalo Joe getting out there, and that seems like a favorable matchup for the Ravens. But knowing that Dorian Williams is definitely decent in pass coverage, Balin Spector better against the run, I would say, just body type wise, a little bit bigger, physical than Terrell Bernard. But I really think the Bills have an overall advantage here, and we're going to win this game. AJ Epenesa said it right. It starts with the trenches. The Buffalo Bills defensive line has been on fire. Von Miller, 3 sacks in 3 straight weeks. I'm expecting that trend to continue. Lamar Jackson has got some deep embedded fears going against the Buffalo Bills, getting knocked out in that playoff game. I think he understands what is at stake here. In the Buffalo Bills, man, we are just hungry. This is really going to showcase Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. And there's no doubt in my mind that Josh Allen is the better quarterback. He's the better thrower. He's got more durability. And he still has enough escapability and running of the football to be better than Lamar Jackson overall in the scope of things. These are all the keys to victory here. The Buffalo Bills really need to win in the trenches on the offensive and defensive side of the football. I think we do need to establish running the ball with James Cook, Ty Johnson, and Ray Davis, making sure that we keep Lamar Jackson on the sidelines, especially if we get up early in this game. We need to make sure that we're controlling the clock and we cannot turn the ball over. I think that's a huge thing, not giving Lamar Jackson and the Ravens more possessions to catch up to the Bills. And that is definitely crucial. Joe Brady needs to continue his pre-snap motioning and find the middle of the field offensively. Gardner Minshew and other quarterbacks this year have torn up the Ravens in the middle of the field, and the Bills would be wise to run up that score in Baltimore against the Ravens Sunday night. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit like, subscribe. Also check the links down below in the description. BNC at SeatGeek.com. You guys can get $20 off. Also, the BNC Chicken Wing merch. You guys get free shipping. Shirts are sizes small through 5XL. There's black, blue, gray, red. The Buffalo Chicken Wing. Got over 50 shirts have been ordered. And also Course Careers. That's a link down there. You guys can get $50 off any other full paid courses. That's personally how I landed my full-time job in 2024. Appreciate you guys. Hit like, subscribe, and go Bills.